You had a bad night last night.
Oh, my God, dude. So I went to Grace.
Went to Grace.
And I had some Trader Joe's organic mozzarella
Okay.
in the fridge, shredded. So I went in there. It's like 2 in the morning. I didn't really have a snack. I usually have.
You weren't waking up to pee because you don't wake up to pee.
I don't wake up to pee at all. Never have.
And by the way, you getting up to get a snack, there's a lot of things that have to happen. You have to unhook your face mask.
No. I should say I wasn't sleeping.
Okay.
I was in bed watching TV.
There's a difference.
You know, and then I was like, I didn't have a little snack, and I had a little rumbling, and I didn't want to go overboard. So I was like, what's something I could do that will satiate me?
Right.
So I took a scoop, put it in my mouth.
I'm itching my nuts through my pocket, but just know that I'm sorry.
Oh, now
Yeah.
you got nuts now all of a sudden?
Oh, that's right. They came back. They grew back.
This guy's lying to me and you to our faces.
They grew back.
It's well documented that I blew them off with Aaron Rodgers.
You're right.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers take your nuts?
I'm scratching my pussy.
Yeah. I take a clump of shredded organic fresh mozzarella from TJ's.
Like it?
I put it in my mouth. I'm chewing it, and I'm like, oh, delicious. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't taste too good. This tastes weird. Oh, that tastes very weird. What am I eating? I look down. Huge lump of green mold.
Oh.
I ate a huge lump of green freaking
Swallowed
mold.
it?
Swallowed it.
So then what? Were you just waiting, panicking?
I was like, I was just alone, like making noises like that in the kitchen. And I looked, and like some of it's good and some of it's bad because it's shredded. I saw it, and I saw a big green lump, and I'm like, that's what I just tasted. And I started dry heaving. I opened up the faucet, and I put my tongue on it, and I kept going, like taking water and swishing it and spitting and swishing it and spitting it out.
But it already got digested.
I tasted the mold. I swallowed the mold. The mold is in my stomach now.
Still in your stomach right now? It has to be.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's in, but
But
it
you
was.
have but nothing.
It tasted disgusting, and I was like, that tastes peculiar. And then I kept getting more prominently tasting the mold.
Isn't it like bad? Like, what happens if you eat mold? Can you die?
What happens if you eat cheese with mold on it? Probably nothing, though in some people, eating mold can cause allergic reactions. In rare cases, could be poisonous, even causing vomiting, diarrhea, dizziness, internal bleeding. So just in case, be sure and cut the mold off. Now, that was where I was going with this.
Right.
Okay? After I ate it and I had an adverse reaction, I spit and I dry heaved and I rinsed my mouth out, I had the shivers. And I actually opened a small can of Diet Coke for taste.
Right.
To get it out of the way.
Birth control. Meal 3.
Meal 3. So, but I have done this. I have seen mold on a piece of bread or a piece of cheese, and I've cut the mold out and eaten the rest of the cheese business as usual. Am I a lunatic? Have you done that? Does it stand to reason if mold is forming somewhere, it could be forming elsewhere, but it's not visible yet, and it could be inside? Because I've just carved the cheese right off, and I've gone ahead and eat the rest of the cheese, and I've done that my whole life, and I'm someone who is a germ guy.
Sure.
I don't like things like that. I don't have a strong constitution. I have a stomach of steel, but I'm queasy in my brain.
Right.
So for me, you wouldn't think I would do that, but I've done it. And I only realized it after I ate the mold.
Right.
I was like, well, I cut mold out and eat the cheese. I wonder if I should even be doing that. Your thoughts. Do you do it? Do you not do it? Am I a psychopath, lunatic? Do you think this is something that everybody does?
I don't think you're a psychopath or lunatic. I do think it's maybe something that a lot of people may do. Me personally, if I had moldy cheese, which I don't really have that much, I don't eat cold cheese to begin with.
So
but let's say
you can't even be in the situation because you only eat hot cheese.
But let's say I've seen moldy bread.
Yeah.
If there's a piece of mold,
bag goes out.
I'll roof it. I mean, I'll throw it out on the garbage. But I mean, I literally, if we were walking in the street and I bought bread that I looked and had mold in, I may genuinely throw it on the roof.
Really?
I would never in a million years cut out a piece of the bread or cut around the cheese, get the mold off, and then melt the cheese. I would never in a million years do that.
So I'm trash.
I won't take medicine or drink milk a day after the expiration date. I won't do it. I'd rather just go buy new milk and go buy new medicine.
No, that's the devil's biggest scam. That's the devil's biggest scam right there. First of all, milk, just smell it. Milk and eggs. Eggs, they say, can go 3 to 4 weeks past the expiration.
Really?
Yeah, this is just Big Farm wanting you to turn over.
What about
milk?
Tylenol?
I smell it. Milk smells good. I do it. But Tylenol and vitamins and things like that, they all put a 1-year stamp on it. I believe that at most, maybe you lose a small percentage of potency. Boom.
That's it.
Read it.
It's true. It's true The effectiveness of a drug may decrease over time, but much of the original potency still remains even a decade after the expiration date, excluding nitroglycerin, insulin, and liquid antibiotics. Most medications are as long-lasting as the ones tested by the military.
You see what I'm saying? They just want you to buy new shit. They want you to go back to the doctor. They want you to pay a copay again. They want the insurance to get it up. You keep taking medicine. Well, no. No. Throw your medicine out at the expiration date. And then if you want to do something, you decide to do it. I didn't tell you to do anything. I began.
There's been multiple times in my life where I've been sick and then went into the cupboard, Chrissy cupboards, and looked for medicine and seen that the medicine was not that much past the expiration date, maybe a year, a couple of months past the expiration date, and went back into bed and stayed sick and wouldn't take the medicine.
What do you think?
Until I could go the next day. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what would happen.
Talk me through what your thought process is.
I don't even do this.
Do you think that it might have like scientifically expired and then possibly become poisonous?
I don't know what it is, but with medicine, perfect example. A week ago, I had a really bad stomach ache. Like, bad. I'm like, oh, I know Pepto-Bismol will help me. I go to the cupboard. Yeah. I pull it out. I pull out Pepto-Bismol. The only Pepto-Bismol I have is kids Pepto-Bismol. So I say to Jasmine, I'm like, can I take
a weaker strength?
I said, can I take kids Pepto-Bismol? She was like, yeah, why don't you be able to take kids Pepto-Bismol? I said, well, it's for kids. She's like, well, you were a kid once. I was like, yeah, but I'm not a kid now.
Right.
And she said, I'm almost positive you can take kids Pepto-Bismol. She was like, just take 3 of them. It says take 2 of them.
Yeah.
I looked at it, put it back, wouldn't take the medicine.
Why?
Because it said kids. I don't know. I just sat down and said, it's not for me. But I don't know. After talking it out with you and thinking about it, it's like, of course I could take a children's medicine. But I don't know, because I don't know the way medicines work, and I don't know if
Sure, you always pump the brakes when it has to do with medicine.
With medicine, I just don't know. But I've never taken anything that's past the expiration date or not meant for me. Like, for example, if you were a doctor.
Would you eat a Lunabar?
Yeah.
A Lunabar is formulated for women.
I use women's deodorant too.
That's the whole thing. So do I. I use women's deodorant too.
I'm wearing women's deodorant right now. It's women's spray Dove deodorant.
I use Secret. It's strong enough for a man, pH balance for a woman.
Made for a woman.
Yeah.
Strong enough for a man, made for a woman.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting.
So you're fine with women's deodorant, but when it comes to, but Lunabars are made for women, which is really odd to me that they cut out half the, the potential buyers.
Is there something in there like this?
I'm wild. I buy it anyway.
You buy it anyway.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I would say now 2.5 weeks. As you know, I've said my girlfriend's pregnant. Due date July 4th. I for multiple weeks, just because I wasn't looking, I kept taking them from the back. I was taking her prenatal vitamins, thinking it was my men's multivitamins.
Okay.
So I've taken 2 weeks now of prenatal vitamins.
Your mood swings.
Yeah, my mood swings. I'm loaded with folic acid and I'm growing a uterus. I've taken her prenatal vitamins for 2 weeks. Truly 2 weeks.
All right.
So.
And you didn't know?
Because I would just grab it and then basically in the I've said cupboard now. By the way, as any other podcast, I've said cupboard now 3 times in less than in 2 minutes. Yeah. So I'll say it one more time and then we're gonna move on from it.
You went in, you grabbed your cards
from the cupboard.
Yeah.
So and I would pull out. I would just pop it open from the back, take one, and then but always the label.
You probably thought it was just a multi, not a prenatal.
Not a prenatal. Because I thought it was the same. And then
what is in a prenatal?
I think it's folic acid is the big thing. Folic acid, which. Prenatal vitamins are specific to the needs of pregnant and breastfeeding women. Okay. They're geared to make up the common nutritional deficiencies a pregnant woman could have, but they aren't really intended for women or men who aren't expecting or lactating.
So that was a mistake.
Well, if I'm being
100%
honest with you, I'm not expecting, but I am lactating.
Don't be a fake, don't be a flake, don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, don't hesitate to say, hey babe, hey babe.